All right, Johnny B, Dynasty Front Office. I'm back with a little DYNO trades video here on how I do things. Now, I've been playing Dynasty for a long time now, and I thought I'd share just a couple tips on how I do it my way. Trades are always subjective, everyone has their methods. But here goes. Step one, do your homework, set your feet in basketball on the three-point line. I used to shoot a lot of threes. I was a very good shooter in high school, varsity. I think I hit like 8 threes in one game. But number one, what you have to do is you have to set your feet when you play basketball. You have to be ready to catch the ball and shoot, just like any good shooter out there. If you do your homework in Dynasty, you're going to know what you're looking for. Do the statistical analysis, okay? Find the player that you're trying to acquire and reasons to be had. What exactly are you going to do with this player? How is this going to enhance your team? Are you going to make a playoff run this year, or are you going to use him for later? Bottom line, pretty simple. Do your homework. Get everything set up first, right? Know your league mates' rosters. Every single one of them. I recommend an Excel spreadsheet. What I do is I see the depth of everybody on Excel to know, okay, where are they deficient in? We play a lot of different positions, IDP involved, so I'm going to find out, are they weak at safety? Are they weak at cornerback, linebacker, etc.? And then once I know everybody in the league, which I'm assuming you do, if you're watching this video and you play Dynasty, you're going to know the same things I do. You're going to realize exactly what people are in need of, and that's where you go for. You find those little cracks in rosters, okay? You have to make some bold requests here when you play Dynasty. Just stop the spamming. Don't throw cheesy, cheap offers to everyone in the league. The rumor around the campfire gets back to you that you're making silly offers, you're not taken seriously, and it just doesn't work out, okay? The trades you are going to make, just like I do, they're bold. I don't make a ton of offers. I treat this like business. And so, the ones I make, they're very hard-hitting, right? They're in the face of the other owner, and I don't like making tough decisions. So I'm going to put it on them, just like when I play poker. Same thing, right? You have to have confidence in your moves. If you trust your plan, you usually get good yields. Now, 2s and 1s and 3s and 1s, I don't like anything that adds up. I think when you played redraft, just like we did years ago, you'd always have that one idiot that's trying to do, 6 duds for 1 stud. Doesn't work. I delete any and all offers like that. I have a rule. I really don't go any more than 3 for 1s. Now, if we're talking draft picks, it's kind of a different story, right? Because if you're dealing with rookie picks and things like that, I'll entertain your offers, but then what I'm going to do is figure out what trade are you actually offering. Are you offering an early round, a mid round, or a late round? Now, I have a calculator I use to try to figure out exactly what those are worth, and I can help you if you email me any questions, upsidedowndrafting@gmail.com. But have a rule, make it your own, okay? If your rule is you like going up to 5 for 1s and 8 for 1s, then go for it. See how that works out for you. But at the end of the day, I'm not maxing out at those. I like nice 2 for 1s and 3 for 1s. And I'll go into more detail on one of the trades that I made this off season. Time of day, I like doing things at like 9 in the night when I'm working with an owner on a trade. We play myfantasyleague.com where, boom, the trade offer is made, and instantaneously on their cell phone they get a notification. It'll tell them, hey, check your league, whether that's email or on your phone, whatever. That way, I like to isolate people. Half the time when you're at like 11 o'clock in the morning trying to call an owner, hey, did you see my trade? It's tough, man. No, man, I'm at work, or no, I'm with kids. It's lunchtime. It's the weekend. Whatever. I'm busy. I like early parts of the week to make deals. Mondays and Tuesday nights are my favorite. So you got to figure out the time of day. And I chart everybody like I'm playing Monopoly, okay? I have a little notepad for when I play my family in Monopoly. I know everybody, my mom. I know exactly how she plays and what they're trying to do. Have those sort of detailed notes on people in your league and what time of the day they're best. Some guys work night shifts. Some guys work early in the morning. Figure it out. Take some notes. Get to know people. Now, if you're listening to this and you're saying, yeah, that's silly. I'm saying I got a lot of new listeners and younger listeners here that are learning Dynasty, so bear with me. If you're an expert, just hang in there. So the quick trade retract, right? I love doing this. I send like a super juicy offer that I probably am not going to do, but The difference between this and spam is I do this about 5 minutes left prior to kickoff, and I just let the guys think about it. And he's thinking, he's like, oh, jeez, man, that sounds like a really good offer. Oh, it's already gone because I pulled it back. What it does is it at least gets the wheels spinning, okay? Because what I love is when you do the quick trade retract right before kickoff Sunday. Again, don't confuse it with spam because you're not going to do a ton of these. But when it's the right owner and maybe you haven't done a lot of deals with, what happens is usually that player goes off, the guy you're trying to give up. And now you got some leverage. That's the hope anyways. And then on Tuesday, they're like, wait a minute, you sent me this offer, but then you pulled it back. Can we talk about that one? Sometimes that works. Again, don't confuse it with spam because you're not going to do it like every week. But this is a fun one if you want to get some traction and things to go. Sending that offer, letting it sit, and then like within 2 minutes of sending it, just pull it back, and then boom, kickoff Sunday happens, and they can't do anything anyways. I love text messages in general for leagues and stuff. I mean, hey, it's nice to say, hey, did you see my offer or whatever? But I guess I've turned on this. I'm not a fan of it anymore because what happens is people, they use the text message as like the probe, the feeler. They're like, hey, would you consider doing that? That's a pussy move. I don't want to be asked that. If you want to make an offer, you put it on the website. If you do it on the website, I'll treat it like it's a business deal and we'll examine it and go through. I'm tired, man. I've told a lot of people, stop texting me. I don't want to discuss this over text on why I should do a deal, or if you're giving me all this advice or a paragraph that you've written on why I should do the deal. Probably not going to do a lot of deals with you. So I'd be very cautious with using text messages. Calling an owner, total fan. Pick up the phone. Get a guy on the phone late at night and talk through deals. That's better. I think text cheap. I've never been a fan. All right, cross-positional. What you want to do is some of my favorite ideas, right, is to trade an owner, a running back for a wide receiver. I don't like going after situations where I'm not getting a wide receiver. I always want the wide receivers because I've told you a million times I think those are the ones that really win dynasty leagues. So if I can go steal a wide receiver and give up a running back, I'll do that all day long. Because my thing is I usually really like or enjoy anyways in a 2 QB league, I try to give up my quarterbacks for the runners. That's the way I barter and buy them. And I go after the wide receivers, so you corner the market on those guys. Tight ends, I never trade. I'm not going to give any sort of tight ends up. I usually hoard the tight ends, I hoard the quarterbacks, and then I sell my quarterbacks at a higher price. That's how I work, but I typically, when you do a cross-positional deal, I guess what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is just don't trade runner for runner and silly things like that. Try to go improve your team with something you can give up. I know that's kind of obvious, but I think people forget when you're doing dynasty deals, you wanna really figure out how you're gonna cross positional, yield somebody good. Mortgaging the future, I think, depending on your situations. This year I'm going for a title push. I'm more and more a fan of doing this, where you can give up juicy picks next year and just go all in this year. One of the picks I really enjoyed was giving up my quarterback Jameis Winston in February and going to get Austin Eckler. I gave up 2 third-round picks, and I gave up Winston on the heels of getting Austin in Chargerland, right? Now, the other part of the deal, and I know I just told you that I don't like stringing along, big player deals, but when I'm in the position to give up some fab money too, and I did, I'm happy to send some fab money. We play perpetual, where you can keep the money; it keeps coming in every March 1st. So in this case, I gave up $1,000. I think I'm only left with like $300 for the year, which is fine because my team is so strong. I really needed that extra running back with McCaffrey, Devin Singletary. I have so many others in my stable of runners that I said I'm going to go buy a player. At the time, it really looked like I overpaid for Winston, who is, probably going to be really good on the Saints, but at the time was not on a team. I love trading on certain players. And on the whims of him, they thought he would be going to the Colts. I said, this is a perfect opportunity because I know what I'm getting in Austin. Okay, Austin Eckler, I know exactly what he's going to do. And I targeted him in February, well before the spring or summer when this owner could figure out. Now, the owner's a Charger fan, so he thinks he's smart because he has Justin Jackson, and he thinks somehow that guy's going to do well. This is going back to February, a couple months ago. The point of my deal is I think trading somebody with a lot of hype, I love doing that. And that's how I got rid of Winston. That's how I got Austin Eckler. Yes, I gave up 2 third rounds and 1,000 in Fab. But again, I like buying something I'm sure of, okay? Mortgaging the future can be a lot of fun. It can be also dangerous, so you're careful with it. But the fun of Dynasty is playing it like redraft. I've always said that. And right now I have a juggernaut that's not going to lose, and I'll unpack my team later. So I'm a big fan with selling future first-round picks and things like that. The name on your jersey, right? So when you're known as an expert trader in your league, you get the respect that you should deserve, but just don't be a dick, right? You want to work with people that are going to work with you, and I think, that's how I've been raised. The name on the back of your jersey you wear in public, to school, to church, wherever, right? So people need to respect who you are, and if you can become that kind of trader, you're going to have a lot of trading partners. Right now in my league of 12, I probably have 4 or 5 trading partners that we have huge trust. We've done a lot of deals together, and then there's the other owners where they're just like these distant kingdoms. We don't know who they are. I don't do a lot of deals with them, but then they don't come to the table. They don't make bold requests, and they sure as hell don't make equitable deals. So then I myself have to go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, how am I going to crack the code on this guy? I have never traded with him. There's one guy in my league never traded with. How am I going to crack the code? Am I going to try something new? Maybe I do an easy deal just to kind of warm the waters. I don't know. Give me some ideas in the comments here below. Some ideas I've heard on other podcasts would be in Dynasty leagues to reduce the number of spam deals or cheesy deals from the cheap seats. A bunch of bench guys for a stud, is you make every trade worth $1 that goes to the winner of the league. I thought that was a great idea. I heard that the other day, and I have heard it before, but it's kind of coming full circle now that just there's so much downtime right now. We're kind of uncertain with this silly COVID thing going on, but I kind of like that deal in the off season because obviously someone in my position who's going to try to win the league, I like that because you can rake in some more money. But what it does is it's like, every deal costs you. And if it's just $1, trades add up. I mean, we had one guy in our league who did like 42 transactions last year. That's $42 for the winner. We have other guys that have made 4 deals all year. So something to stimulate maybe the respect of a trade and trying to do the non-stinky deals. That's kind of a good idea with the trading. Look, I've played in so many Dynasty leagues where you have a trade deadline or you don't. That's up to you guys. I have another video on how to do a league constitution, but I've come to the realization that I love the trade deadline because it makes everybody really pay attention around Thanksgiving. And what we do is, our trade deadline is up on week 11. So you really have to figure out who the hell you're going to go after or why. And with that trade deadline, we get this like flurry of trades happening. But what it also does is you have to pay your future entry fee. I've talked about this before for next season. Normally our entry fees are due March 1st because we do our rookie drafts May 1st, right? We just finished that. And so I'm going to make you pony up if you're going to start trading future deals. We only trade 1 year out. I've been through that on the video before, but think of a trade deadline idea. I think it really works. I think you get a true combination of what the brackets look like. Otherwise, you're muddling up brackets. You have all these has and have-nots teams, and the have-nots start giving away all their players, and then all of a sudden you have these like steroidal teams on drugs going to the moon. And the team that you face in the finals is probably not the same team 3 weeks ago, if that makes sense, right? Because they've accumulated all these new players that you're not ready to play. So that's why I like trade deadlines. And week 11, it's very hard to figure out what's going to happen 3 or 4 weeks later. So make it a challenge. That's what we do. But anyways, listen, give me your tips. What do you like doing with trades? What's effective to you? I've given you something to think about, but I think at the end of the day, if you want to be an expert trader in your league, you have to be fair. You have to be, we didn't talk about this, but obviously get back to the person within 48 hours. My God, like 48 hours is a reasonable time to get back to somebody. It's not hard to do. Either way, no, I'm not going to do that deal. Here's why. Or, I'll think about it. Give me some more time. But at least let the guy know what you're doing with the trade offers. But yeah, put them in the comments. Let's hear it. Trading's the best part about Dynasty. So you have to up your game. Even like I said, I have to figure out how to crack the code on my game with some people. So it never ends. It's not like you're going to be some sort of wizard at this. It's evolving and people change, but for the most part, people play Monopoly the same way, if you know what I mean. So take your notes on these other owners, figure them out, and go make some big deals. All right, Johnny B, Dynasty front office. I'll be in touch. Thanks for watching the show. See ya.